Draymond is being the normal Draymond, averaging like 8 points. He's passing the ball around. He's been a passing big man. That's what he's been his entire career. And he's playing good defense. That's just what Draymond's done. Jordan Poole is a rising star. He's averaging 18 this year. You got Andrew Wiggins, who can pour in 18 and 19 a night, and he can have a few nights where he will put up like 35. So if Klay comes back and he is like maybe 70% of what he was, they'll be in a good spot. Alright, another discussion I was going to have today is the fact that the taunting, I really think the taunting penalty, because I do have other thoughts about this now. I really think the taunting penalty is just the dumbest rule. I really do. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. Like, at least in the NFL, you know? Like, there's no baseline, you know? Like, for what is taunting and what isn't. You know, you can't make players guess. You know? They should have a baseline of what is and what isn't taunting. Like, it should be clear. So, like, then the players actually deserve the flags they're getting. You know? Like, I wouldn't feel sympathy for them getting a flag if they knew it was a penalty or not. But they don't know. They have to take a guess, almost, as to whether or not it's a penalty. You know, it's dumb. And, like I said yesterday, I just don't think it does much to the game. You know, the penalty contributes nothing. Like, why is it there? There's no reason at all. Alright, so we got a music segment. Actually, no, we don't. No, we have a few more segments. Then we go to Kick or Stick. I will tell you whether or not they should stick with the team should stick with their quarterback or kick them to the curb. So, alright, Kyler Murray is optimistic about returning. And, you know, normally I say, like, don't rush him back, you know, but honestly, if he says he feels like he can play, go ahead, because you might also not have DeAndre Hopkins. So, like, if he's close enough to 100%, start him. But if he really feels like he can't play, no rush. I mean, you're 8-1. There's no rush. You have cruise control on your division right now. Like, okay. All right, the Rams. The Rams have a chance to take over, but I mean, you're 8-1. You got no rush. If he doesn't feel like he can play, don't play him, because then you could risk injury. You know, but it just depends on how he feels. If he feels like he can, if he feels like he's healthy enough to play him. If not, you know, you're 8-1. Always got that excuse. Alright. Back to Mahomes. You know, I mean, they still have a winning record. But there's also 17 teams in the league, including them, that have a winning record. So, more than half the league has a winning record. So I wouldn't jump up and down too much. But they are winning. And if they're not winning against bums, you know, they're winning against fairly good teams. They did beat the Packers last week. Even though they had Jordan Love, they still had Devontae Adams playing and basically everyone else. You know, they did beat the Browns in week 1. That's still something to talk about. And, you know, I do think that they will get past it. It's just, I don't know, like, I don't know, I just don't really have any idea what the Chiefs are doing right now. Like, they seem to just be rolling with blueprint they had last year, which is not working. So, it's that's the problem with flashy teams. Once they figure you out, you can't do anything. Once they figure you out, you're not a good team anymore. That's what the Chiefs are. They're not a good team anymore. Now that people figure them out. But like I said, I think the Chiefs will figure out another way to dominate, but it's not looking good. All right, Daniel Jeremiah ranked the top 12 rookies. And, he got Micah Parsons at number 1. I would personally put Chase at number 1. Rashawn Slater on the Chargers at 3. That's pretty good. Pitts at 4. Mac Jones at 5. Deserves that recognition. Javonte Williams at 6. That's fair. He's got Creed Humphrey from, Najee Harris. And then Patrick Surtain at 12. But think about it. Think about this real quick. Surtain and Javonte Williams both play for the Broncos. They got 2 promising rookies. Their roster is not bad. They need a quarterback. That's what they need. They're underrated. They're a little like the Bucs before Tom Brady came. Talented, they just need a quarterback. And obviously I'm not going to trade Rodgers or Wilson from the Packers and Seahawks perspective. From the organization's perspective, I wouldn't trade Rodgers or Wilson. But if they go into the office and say, I will not play another down for this team, then I will trade them. And, from the player's perspective, say Wilson or Rodgers goes on the Broncos. That could make the Broncos contenders. They really could. I'm telling you right now to watch for that. I really am. Alright, now I'm going to play kick or stick. And obviously I'm only going to talk about the tough decisions. Obviously I'm not going to ask a question about whether the Packers should kick or stick with Rodgers. Obviously they should stick with him. But if he asks to be kicked to the curb, which I think he will unless they win a Super Bowl, which is why I hope they win a Super Bowl. I don't know. But I got a few quarterbacks to go through here. I got 7 quarterbacks to talk about here, so why not get started if the music will start. Okay. Might take a few seconds. But, I think the quarterbacks I'm going to talk about, like Tua, Big Ben, the tough decisions. Wentz, all of them. I will tell you whether I think teams should kick them to the curb or stick with them. Starting now. Wait, hold on. Here we go. Alright. Tua, kick or stick? I'm going to kick Tua. He has less than 200 yards passing in half his starts. And he's probably going to miss his 11th start tonight against the Ravens. And he's just unavailable, and he doesn't seem to be that good of a quarterback. Doesn't seem to be that athletic. Doesn't seem to be that, he doesn't really seem to be a quarterback that's going to take the Dolphins anywhere, Big Ben, I said this last year, I think they should kick Big Ben. But this year he'll be a free agent, so just let him walk. You don't have to trade him or anything. He has 4.6 yards complete per completion. That's a dank and dunk quarterback. That's not a quarterback that's going to get you down the field. Plus, think about this. The Steelers are the lowest scoring team, lowest scoring offense the lowest scoring offense that is a winning team. So what does that tell you? It tells you they have talent on their roster. Just need a quarterback. Kick Big Ben. Find a new quarterback. Alright. Carson Wentz, kicker stick. I'm going to stick with Carson Wentz if I'm the Colts. He's doing well. I don't think he's the problem with the Colts. I don't. I believe that, he's gotten 100 passer rating, 17 touchdowns, 3 picks, which is one of the fewest in the league. He doesn't turn the ball over as much, now that he's in a good system with Frank Reich. He's got some good weapons. I would keep that offense together. They're not doing bad at all. They're 8th in points. I think the defense is the bigger issue. They're just not a good pass defense in any sense of the matter. So I'd stay with Carson Wentz. He has a good connection with Frank Reich. Just keep him there. Jalen Hurts. Tough decision. I'm going to say stick, but it's tough. It's tough. I don't think he's the problem. He very well could be, though. The Eagles' offense still doesn't look good, but neither does their defense. He's... In the last 4 games, he hasn't completed more than 18 passes. And it doesn't seem like the Eagles trust him much either. I'd say... I'm leaning towards stick right now, but I'd say ask me again in about ask me again come playoff time. So, by the end of the regular season, ask me again. I can't give you a straight up answer right now. So with Jalen Hurts, it is, I have no idea. Ask me again at the end of the regular season. Alright. Daniel Jones. I am going to stick with Daniel Jones. And that's because he's getting better and he's resolving his turnover issue. It's not like Sam Darnold, who is still turning the ball over. Or like a Jameis Winston, where he had to go somewhere else to resolve that issue. But Sam Darnold never resolved that issue. He kept turning the ball over, got throwing picks. Daniel Jones, the real problem was his turnovers were ridiculous. He's gotten better with that. I would stick with Daniel Jones. Throw him in for another year. Jared Goff, I would stick with him. He's got a 67% completion percentage, 90-plus passer rating in 5 of his 8 starts, and he has no number 1 receiver. So what he's doing right now is pretty good. I'd keep him. He's not the problem. The Lions are just a sad organization. Goff could very well be the reason they even have a shot right now. So I would stick... Actually, they don't even have a shot, what am I saying? But, I think Goff is the only slight bright spot on their team right now, so I would stick with him. Finally, Sam Darnold. Unfortunately, it's a kick, I like him, but I was wrong about him. He's been hurt multiple times. He's brittle, and he's just not a good thrower for the football. He turns it over a lot. He's careless, Sam Darnold's just not a good quarterback right now, and he's very susceptible to injury, so I'd kick him to the curb. Alright, good stuff today. I'm actually almost done. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan, Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. See you tomorrow.